I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a couple things. One, the Bedlam game last year. The interception that you had and the interception at the end of the game were kind of similar in a way because Bester was involved in both.
Yes, sir.
On your interception, he didn't contest it as much. You cut him off. On the Justin Gilbert interception, that wasn't. Bester really fought him for it.
Yes, sir.
How big a difference does that make when a receiver turns into a defender when you're trying to pick the ball off?
Oh, it's just as hard. I'm sure just as hard for when every time they try to catch the ball, we're nagging them in the air, trying to swipe the ball out and things. When they try to do it to us, it's just as hard, except they practice catching the ball probably more than we do. They probably have more repetition, but fighting through adversity to go catch the ball. So I'm sure it's way more, 10 times more harder than just going up and catching the ball.
Have you noticed any difference in how receivers compete on those plays now? Are they being coached more to shift into that defender mode and trying to break the play up?
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. I know on our defense, with Oklahoma State, our receivers, you go for a ball, they're going up for you right with it. Even if you're in perfect position, they're going to try to knock the ball down and go in DB mode. So definitely testimony to the coaching, because that's more of it's more of a who wants it more, the will to want to know that you got to live and play the next play, because the interception, you're off the field, and then the other offense is on the field. So it's really a testimony to see how the coaches instill into the other players.
And to think about that play in the avalanche of big plays in the Bedlam game, fake punts, touchdowns called back by holding penalties, that one was one that really sort of ended up turning the game because it looked like Gilbert had it, Bester battled him. What do you remember about your perspective on that play?
I just remember Justin going up, and I remember seeing him catch the ball. I remember seeing the ball come out. And then I figured they were going to review the play, but the OU was smart and hurried up the offense and got the play off before they could be able to review it. So, that's all out the window at that point. But, it's kind of during the game, you were worried about the receiver, you were worried about the whole team as a whole, what winning that game meant to everybody. We win a Big 12 championship, we go and play UCF in the Fiesta Bowl and things like that. So that all run through your mind at the same time. But at the same time, you got to play the next play because they called it off. So. It's just testimony. You got to be ready for anything and be able to play through adversity.
Right. When you were coming up, when was the first time you really thought of yourself as, you were a high school star, you played offense too. When did you see your future as a cornerback?
I knew I would play cornerback my freshman year of high school. That was the first time I got moved up to varsity, and I was number 87 on our varsity. And I started my first game. It was against Fort Gibson High School. And Courtney Gaston at the time was committed to Arkansas. And I remember him catching the ball and coming directly to my face mask, about to run me smooth over. But somebody else tagged him. I was like, thank God. And I wasn't ready for that. So that was the first time I knew I was going to play corner, because that was the first time I got moved up to the higher level for being able to play. Because I never knew I was going to play offense. I always begged to play offense in high school. And my coach was like, no, just straight defense, straight defense. I was like, just give me the ball. I want to help the team any way I can. And so it kind of flourished into what happened my junior and senior year. So I kind of knew that during high school that I was going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
In your lifetime, do you remember sort of how that changed for cornerbacks to become such a crucial position, and when you became aware that corners were really where it's at, sort of the backbone of the defense?
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. The defense works together. You can have the worst corners in the world, but the best D-line in the world, and they will never catch a ball because they never get the ball off. So it works all together, having guys like Jimmy Bean, Trace Clark, Emmanuel Ogba, Sam Rand, Ofahatu, rushing the defense, rushing the passer all the game. It really works all together to help the corners and secondary. It buys them time to be able to get their technique down, and the less time they have to cover, the better the whole defense works as a whole.
Yet OSU has really developed I don't want to call it cornerback U, because there's a lot of good schools, but if you go back to Parrish Cox, Justin Gilbert, Jacob Lacey, now yourself, what's the tradition? What's the commonality of the tradition of guys who are really standing out at cornerback at Oklahoma State?
Just buying in, the work ethic that the corners and Coach Malone asked of everybody. Because we have guys like Ashton, and then Tyler Patton, he didn't get drafted, but he got signed on as Dallas Cowboys, and he didn't. He played a significant role his senior year, this past year, when we played against games. So it's just the work ethic and the testimony to be able to know that you're playing against the best people, the best receivers you do all year in the Big 12, and then Coach Malone just really instills you with technique, and being the best player you can and getting the best of everybody. So it's really shows how Coach Malone coaches everybody, and then just the work ethic you put to be great.
As with anybody who changes their mind in Bedlam on a recruiting trail from OU to OSU or vice versa, you become a subject in the state. As you reflect back on your decision to sign with OSU instead of OU,
Yes, sir.
what was the biggest tipping point in that decision?
At that time, my coach Brent Venables and Willie Martinez. Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator, and then Willie Martinez was the corners coach. At that time, he took the head coaching job at the defensive coordinator.
Clemson.
Was it Clemson? Yeah, Clemson. He had left to go to Clemson, and so the coaches that I known and I had really gone a relationship with, and one of the main reasons that I liked them, wanted to go play under, had left. But then Mike Stoops had gave me my first offer through high school, my first college offer from Arizona. But then at that time, he had moved to OU, and so it was kind of like getting a familiar face back with Mike Stoops. But then I checked out Oklahoma State, and they'd always been in the back of my mind. I'd always liked them. You know, some of the older guys from my high school went there, and I'd been there before, and I liked it. And then when I visited there, it just overwhelmed me. I liked the campus, the university. They had what I wanted to major in, and things like that. And so it just felt like the choice. And then it was like a hometown, and I'm from a small town guy myself, so it just felt like the right choice to make.